Today is Crown Act Day, which stands for Crown, okay? Creating a respectful and open world for natural hair. It's also known as Black Hair Independence Day, and it's all about celebrating black hair. And when it comes to my hair and my style, my personal choice is just to wear it straight on air and just curly on the weekends because it's my business on the weekends and I don't want to hear it from anybody, which is against what this is. It gives us the freedom to do this without being fired or reprimanded, right? Which sounds so ridiculous. Anyway, that's how I roll out the door because that's how my hair grows naturally. There it is. That's me on the weekend. I recently sat down with some of my news sisters here at WUSA9 and some other women to talk about the Crown Act and loving who you are.
You've chosen to do your hair a little bit differently. You could also wear your hair naturally curly, but you decided early on not to do that because you didn't want the blowback from the people you worked for or the community.
Right. That's for me. My curls are for me. You're not going to judge me. You know, the viewer's not going to judge me. My boss, I'm not even opening myself up to it. But it's interesting because in that, are you then, you know, sort of dimming your light because you say you don't want the scrutiny, but really are you afraid that, oh, well, they might not like me or they might say something that I'm not going to like them and I'm going to want to, you know, so it was just the path of least resistance for me. But let me just also say, I love to see black women wearing their hair all kinds of ways. Now, this new generation of newscasters, I'm just so inspired by you. Montgomery County was the first locality in the entire nation to pass this legislation, the Crown Act, and Crown Act inspired laws have been passed in 23 states now and 50 municipalities. The law passed the House, but it hasn't gotten out of the Senate yet. Some Republicans argued that the bill would be duplicative. I've never used that word before, but duplicate because of federal legislation already prohibits race-based discrimination. But I'm sorry, you know, off script here, let's look at the representation in the Senate and how many people understand what this is really about. So that's the issue here in Montgomery County, and I'm so proud to be a Montgomery County resident. Shout out to Will Gerwando, who was behind that. And let's celebrate all of us, and we'll have much more on the Crown Act throughout the day.
Yeah, and I think it's really all about just doing what you feel comfortable. Choice.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I remember in school, you know, I was told that you can't wear your hair curly. Like, you can do that now while you're in school, but once you get your job, you'll have to blow it out straight. So it's just really great to see, you know, people being able to wear their hair as it grows out of their head.
Right.
Not having to put all the extra heat and all that kind of stuff into it. Yeah.
That was also, Delia Gonzalez is in there. You saw that. She talked about that. She wore her hair curly all through college, and they said that's fine now, but when you get a job, so I think we've come a long way, and that's a good thing.
It's good to see the change that has come from this, and just the people fighting for this to be able to wear their hair how they want it and not be discriminated against at work for it.
Because it matters, whether you know it or not, it does.